Hi everyone. So you establish that you want to be together, right? Then comes the keeping, the consistency in the relationship. You want to make sure that when things are going really good, you don't want to rock the boat. If you decide to rock the boat, be prepared for the not so common outcome. First of all, people are going to go straight to the defense. And do you really want people to be defensive when you talk to them? No. So you want to pull, when you're conversing with someone, you want to pull all accusations away from the conversation. You're not going to be pointing fingers. You're not going to be accusing. You're going to keep it nice and light and pleasant. Now, it's not going to be where it's going to be complacent and nobody's being heard. You can always be heard and stuff, but there's always going to be some cases where people are not going to be feeling, or people will feel that they're not being heard. So you always have to make sure with the communication, it's consistent, it's concise, and it's pleasant. Now, it's not like walking on eggshells and stuff, because I'm one of those people. I don't want to walk on eggshells in the relationship. Actually, I'm going to take these off. I don't want to walk on eggshells. I don't want to blow smoke up someone's ass. I want to keep the communication nice and light. But if it comes down to something needs to be addressed, I want to address it very effectively. And I want to have a decent approach on the matter. I don't want it to be where it's like the whole accusation game, or I feel like I'm being left out, or anything like that. People, you have to accept that your partner is busy. You have to accept their schedule. You have to not only accept it, but you also have to respect it. If you don't respect your relationships away time, and you get too clingy and everything, like the constant texting, the constant, oh, I have to hear from them. I got to make sure everything's okay. I got to make sure they're not with somebody else. If you're at that point, you're not ready. When you can just coolly, calmly say, hey, I'm having lunch. I will talk to you later. Your partner, if they truly want something with you, they're going to respect it. If they don't respect it, they're going to get mad and angry, and they're going to be like, why wasn't I invited? Why didn't this go take place? And then, all the what ifs and ifs, or not ifs, but it's where the friction starts. And I mean like friction. Someone's going to get bent out of shape. You're going to have to be like, listen, it's not even like that. It's just that I have other things I need to do. And I don't want you to feel left out. And I don't want you to think that I don't want to spend time with you. It's just right now, if our schedule is conflicting, we're not going to be able to hang out as much, especially if it's a long distance relationship. This is where it gets very frustrating with people. The long distance relationship is where you have to make time for your mate. You have to make some kind of quality time, whether it's through communication, whether it's through dinner, whether it's like, mini dates here and there, especially if children are involved. If children are involved, you have to accept the fact that if they're a single parent, the kids are going to be there coming along with you. If you're going through okay, so in my situation, I don't have to worry about the other parent on his side. But on my side, I still have to worry about the other parent and what they've got planned and what they don't have planned. And it gets really frustrating. And then it's like, I had a bomb dropped on me the other day, and I had to tell my guy, I was like, I'm kind of it's like I had a bomb dropped on me, so I'm not exactly sure how to handle this. And he should feel special that I did confide in him, because normally I don't really like to tell people my personal problems or my personal issues, especially strangers. This is kind of new to me, but I'm giving it an attempt, because I know that I'm not the only one. And I know that there's people that are going to get really frustrated if they don't have the proper guidance in this. And now hopefully I'm able to provide this. You have to give your mate breathing room. If they have other priorities, and you're not number one, not like this, but if you feel like you have to be number one, you're not in it for the right reasons. The priorities is just that. whatever they need to get done in order to fulfill their work schedule, their parenting schedule, their social life schedule. Like, you have friends and everything. You're like, you can spend time apart. It's okay. You don't have to be on their phone saying, oh, when are you coming back? Oh, when do we have time together? And stuff like that. Don't pressure the situation. Don't fuel the argument that's like kind of there and not there. Like, if you see an argument that's going to breach up, eliminate it. Add some douse it quick. So in my situation, I'm told that that they miss me. I really like that. And I also like when they say that, they want to spend time with me, but they have this going on. I take that as consideration that, he decided to reach out to me and everything and let me know he's very busy. Well, I'm also very busy, and I'm working on the reaching out and letting them know that, hey, I've got this, and this going on. Now, if I was not in a relationship and I wasn't seeing somebody on a consistent basis, I wouldn't even inform anybody. I wouldn't even tell them. I'd be like, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. And that somehow has gotten me in a little trouble. So I'm working on my communication skills and making it show when I'm available and when I'm not. Like today, I was supposed to work today, but I ended up getting rescheduled for next week. So we weren't even able to make plans, and I'm okay because he had somebody else with him and he was helping his friend out, and I respected that, and I didn't inquire too much about it. I didn't blow up his phone because I know he's on the road, and I would never disrespect our relationship like that. I've had a lot of growth in the past in this department, and I remember when I've had a situation where my ex-husband would go the whole day without talking to me, then because he'd be out of town, and he would call me and let me know that he's at a bar, and I would hear all the women, and I'm like, listen, I said, you sound busy. When you're not surrounded by other people, give me a call. And I hung up on him. Now people are like, well, that's jealousy. No, it's just called, he did it on purpose. He called me purposely to let me know that he was at a bar with another woman. Now I'm pregnant with our child, and he did this, and because I did have a low self-esteem at that time, so I put up with it. Nowadays, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm like, listen, if you want to go and act like you're single, I can let that be. I will let you live single. I will make it to where we don't even have to communicate. And when it comes to prioritization and everything, yeah, it was nice of him to call me when he was at the bar. But he could have just said, hey, listen, I'm going to go to the bar tonight. I will call you when I get when I get a moment of free time. I would have respected that more than him just calling and hearing all the women that he was with. Guys, I understand that you guys feel that women are controlling and, that we don't know what we have and everything like that. Well, when you fuel the good guy role, I hate to burst your bubble, guys. You're not a good guy. And when you're a good man, there's a difference. And it's really nice to know right now that I'm developing something more with a good man versus the good guy. And he's not a fuckboy, because I gave him plenty of time when we spent time apart to go pursue other people. But he decided and chose not to. And I really liked that he did that on his own accordance. He didn't feel pressured to do it. And though his situation is like ever changing like mine. I mean, life is ever changing, people. Nothing is ever going to be 100% consistent, but when it comes to communication, it can be consistent. As long as you guys communicate, you can't go wrong. You can actually build a foundation off communication alone. As long as the actions and the words coincide. You can got someone saying, oh, I'm doing this, and you come across them finding out that, whoa, you are doing exactly what you said you were doing. Then it's kind of like, let's take a step back. And I'm one of those people. If I recognize that the words don't match with the actions, I'm going to take a step back and I'll observe. And I won't feel bad about this because, I have to make sure that if I'm investing into a relationship, that I'm investing for the right reasons, that I am looking for the long haul. I'm not looking for a fling. So when I do my own introspection, especially when we're trying to establish a relationship, I'm going to do it, most likely distant. I'm going to be very distant at the very beginning because I've been a little shy in the beginning of a relationship because I've had situations in the past where they tell me something and then they bolt. And usually when they bolt, it's not because of me, it's because they've got their own iniquities, reaching in their face like, hi, this is something we got to deal with. And if you don't deal with it, it just kind of festers and festers until, you come across somebody that you really want to know and you really want to get with, and you feel like you guys got a good vibe, and you just feel like you guys are really compatible. You want to make sure that you're both on the same page. And this is where people get hurt. Because sex is not making love. Sex is just sex. And I hate to burst people's bubbles on this one, but it's the truth. Sex is just sex. It's a physical connection, but it's not always going to determine compatibility for the long haul. And if someone's only looking for sex, we call them fuck girl, fuck boy, whatever it is, because that's all that they're seeking and wanting at that time. You gotta let them go. You gotta let them figure it on their own and let them figure that out with other people. If they come back, great. Then you guys can finally start, getting something started and establishing a solid connection. And it's kind of difficult sometimes, especially in this time and age. We just got done with COVID, and we just got done dealing with, a lot of price gouging situations where people's finances are not that stable right now. And then not only that, but in California, everybody seems to be suffering because we have poor representation. It does affect the households. It does affect with driving children to school. It does affect with the fact that we have, especially in the Redding area, you have it to where churches have come over and did a complete takeover on housing. So where people are going to have to do, renting out their rooms, making arrangements so people are not homeless and stuff like that. So, all these kind of situations, people having to live in quarters that they don't want to live and whatnot. So just know that if the relationship is meant to be, anything and everything is going to try and come and pull you apart. It is a choice to deal with and go through those obstacles and those blocks together or separately. But remember, if you have to go through an obstacle, you don't always have to have your mate with you to do that. You have to, the personal growth that I'm talking about is that you have to handle your own obstacles and not have to rely on somebody else. And if you feel like you have to rely on somebody else, that falls into codependency. You've got to make sure you can differentiate between a true basis foundation for a relationship and codependency. In my next video, I will be talking about codependency, but I'm running out of time. I got to go do an oil change, and then I got to do laundry, and I got all this list of stuff to do, and I've already told my boyfriend that, today is not a good day, and he's already told me today is not a good day, so we both matched on that matter. I would love to see him more, but, he has young children, and my children are older, so therefore our schedules will have some confliction. We're both going to respect each other's schedule and personal time as well. All right, I got to get going. Y'all have a good one.